If you're a small business owner and you do your own bookkeeping, I wanted to help you out by showing you a very simple 9-step monthly bookkeeping workflow. So this is something you would be doing every single month for your bookkeeping. You're going to make sure that your books are in great order. This should make it really, really as easy as possible. There's no fluff. So we're going to talk about the beginning of the month. That's where a lot of the work happens. You're going to be spending the most time. We're going to also talk about what do you do once you've completed the monthly work. Kind of what are you doing with the reports in your file in whatever way you have it. And then what are you doing throughout the month when you're not having to do regular bookkeeping work? I am going to mention QuickBooks Online a lot in this process, but this workflow has nothing to do with QuickBooks Online. You can do all of these steps in whatever software you have, or if you use an Excel spreadsheet or something, you can use all this stuff in there. So first off, what you want to do is wait till the very, very beginning of the month, generally speaking around the 2nd of the month, and you're going to go in and download all of the bank statements for your checking accounts, your credit cards, savings accounts. And if you have like PayPal or Venmo, one of those merchant service types accounts where you're getting paid or paying people, you're going to download those too, right? And now you're only going to do it for your business accounts, not for your personal accounts. And you're going to, you need the bank statement PDFs because it's important for a step down the way here that you'll see in a second, but you need the beginning balance and the ending balance, and then all the transactions and stuff. So it makes everything easier when you get these, right? All right, let me move myself down a little bit. Next is you're going to log into your accounting software. In this idea is QuickBooks, and you're going to categorize, right, the banking feed. I'm assuming that you've gone through and connected all of your accounts into your software, but basically you're just bringing in all of the transactions and categorizing things and making sure everything looks good on that front. So a step that a lot of people miss, the third step here, is reconciling. So after you've brought everything in, you're going to basically verify that all of the transactions on those bank statements, that all of them are in the file, QuickBooks Online, Xero, whatever, Wise, whatever you're using. You're going to make sure that they match 1-to-1. That's what reconciliation is. And so QuickBooks makes that really simple, and there's plenty of guides on how to do that. But you're going to do the reconciliation step because that's something that a lot of people miss. And if you don't do this, then technically you don't know if your books are accurate. You might have a duplicate expense that you don't know about. And the only way to really find that is to reconcile, right? If you ever get a bookkeeper in the future, this is a step that they are going to hope is done, and it will probably make the whole experience cheaper or less expensive for you if it is done, if it's done properly. So take the time to do that and do not skip that step. Next is you're going to make sure you do any adjustments. Now, without getting too much into it, if you have payroll, you can't just simply bring in the payroll expenses and put them as, wages or salaries. There's more to it than that. There's employer taxes versus employee taxes. And so you got to make sure that all of that detail is split out. And we refer to the payroll reports that we actually log into the client's payroll portal, go get the summary report, and then split all of those transactions out. And so you want to make sure that that information is in there so you're not representing something that's an expense when it's actually like the employee taxes, right? Another example of an adjustment that should be done each and every month is loan adjustments, right? So if you make a loan payment, not all of that is principal or interest. It's both. So you need to make sure that, say you spend $1,000 on a loan, like make a $1,000 loan payment, and 600 of it is principal and 400 is interest. You would want to make sure that $1,000 is not all going to principal or interest. It's going to both properly. So split that out. It's pretty easy to do in QuickBooks, but any software you have, you can be able to do it, right? So make sure you do that. There's other adjustments, but those are the two main ones. Lastly here, or second to lastly, you want to add in expenses that are made from your personal accounts. This is something that happens all the time. It's very normal. Sometimes I do it. But if you, throughout the month, you accidentally bought something on your personal account that's actually for business, then you need to add that into the file somehow. In QuickBooks Online, you can do it with a journal entry, and you would just offset the expense to owner's draw, owner's investment. But you would get that into the file so it's showing up on your reports, because otherwise your reports aren't accurate, or in that case, you wouldn't be getting the tax benefit of that expense, of that business expense. And you want to make sure you get that. Just because it was made on your personal account does not mean that you cannot write it off and it can't be a part of your books. You just need to add it in. You have to actively, manually do it. So you want to make sure you get those all in there. Lastly here is just verifying accuracy. So you're going to kind of look through the file and you make sure things are reconciled, make sure that there's no duplicates, kind of look things over, make sure it looks good, right? You should have a decent idea of what that looks like, since you're buying things and you're kind of looking through everything. Invoices, were those all received properly? You get the idea. Once you've verified accuracy, now you have a set of books for the month and ideally through the whole year now, and you want to look at reports. So take a moment, if you have not done this yet, learn about a profit and loss and what you're looking at, because as a small business owner, you need to know what you're looking at when you look at a profit and loss. So generate that report and look at it, and you can glean some information about how your business is doing. And then also looking at a balance sheet, you're able to look at balances of everything and just knowing where your business is at, how much debt are you in, things that you can kind of make up what is valuable to you as you run your business, right? But look at that profit and loss report, and it should inform you on how your business is doing in the year so far. And now something tangible that you can do with this profit and loss report is set aside money for taxes. You want to use this report to properly set aside an amount of money that you will most likely need to pay out at the end of the year or during a prepayment quarter or something like that. So set aside the money for taxes. You're going to pay it eventually, and it's going to be based usually on the profit and loss. So now that you have that information, you can make a pretty informed decision about how much money you're going to probably need to pay, right? Talk to your CPA and all that to figure out like a percentage that makes sense. But that's something you can do. And so I would do that throughout the month, every single month. What you're doing now that the books are done, this is ideally at the beginning of the month, you're all good. You can go back to running your business and not having to worry about bookkeeping. You're going to make note of things that come up throughout the month. Oh, I spent this, I went to Costco and I purchased something, a Keurig coffee maker, and I bought it on my personal account. Shoot. All right, make a note. It was for $150 and it was on this date or whatever. So that you can then refer to that document at the beginning of the next month and add it in. You don't need to then go into QuickBooks and add it in and make it a pain in the ass. Just do it, just accumulate a list of things so you can execute on it at the beginning of the month when you're kind of sitting down and you're in the bookkeeping mode, because you want to get out of that bookkeeping mode as quickly as possible and get back to running your business. So that's just my tip. A Google document works great for that. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful. Really, really simple 9-part workflow. If you continue to do that throughout the year, every single month, you're going to be in good shape. But if you have any questions about bookkeeping, I've been doing this for over 10 years and have worked with over 100 clients. And so if you have any questions, go to my website, email me directly, or you can even just text me directly, and hopefully I can help you out. So feel free to ask me questions, and thanks so much. Bye.